I think it's time to add a little bit of pumpkin spice to this couch. In this house we craft in pajamas, so check, and let's do it. It's fine. So I've got sweaters that I don't mind cutting up, either because they don't fit me anymore or because I just hate them. And then I've got yarn in my color scheme. I really like those warm creams, so that's what I'm gonna go with. And I'm focusing more on texture than anything else. So what we've got this, like the kind you would wear if you like wanted to wrap yourself up and like live in a lighthouse. And then this one, this like trendy, it's a crop. As someone with a long body, I hate crop sweaters. I want to be cozy and warm, and just completely overpowered by sweaters. I don't want it to end here, but that's just me. So that's why this one's getting cut up. This one, oh, this is a favorite. Look at all that texture on it. It's got these bobble things that I love and am obsessed with. This one I will not be cutting up. I just love it too much. I can't bring myself to cut this one up. It's just too cute. It's got like cowgirl Blair Waldorf vibes to it, and I can't sacrifice it to the craft gods today. Maybe next year, but I will be wearing this one. You know what? It's only appropriate that I wear a sweater for this craft. There we go. This one first, because this is the one that I dislike the most. I think this size is appropriate for a pumpkin because it's gonna be like this big, right? They don't have to be giant. That's what I'm gonna tell myself, because I have a tendency to make things too big and too sparkly and just spend too much time on things. So let's just pop these buttons off, and I'm just gonna cut like a chunk off. I'm going for it. This is one of those times where I don't measure anything, and maybe that's a bad thing, but I'm gonna just go for it. This fabric is like that minky fabric, so it kind of gets everywhere, but it doesn't unravel. So like I've definitely got like fuzzies just kind of like everywhere, but it's not unraveling, so that's kind of nice. Maybe that's a mistake. Get someone to come vacuum that later. Let's get real, it'll be me. I'll vacuum that later. Okay, so now I've got this square. That's not a square. That is not even close to being a square. I'm gonna square it up, squaring up. I guess all the ends are gonna be like, it's okay if they're like lumpy. Real pumpkins in real life are not perfect. I'm gonna use a hot glue gun to like put that edge together, but you could also sew it and just really quickly run a stitch through there and it would be just fine. And then match up the sides, just like that. Ow! Wouldn't be crafting if you didn't burn yourself once with a hot glue gun. That I stand by. It's not great, but I do stand by it. This is the bottom of the sweater and it has a casing right here, so I'm thinking that there should be a little opening. Oh, and there totally is a little opening right there. So I'm gonna get some yarn, I don't know, this long, tie it to a safety pin. Haha, and then I can thread it through. That's exactly what I'm about to do. Sometimes the best part about crafting is just figuring out how you're gonna do stuff. There are tools for this. There are proper tools for doing literally this. And those tools make it really easy. But I had yarn and a safety pin just within 5 feet of me. So that's why convenience, you know, the convenience of it all. So now we've got like a drawstring, and I'm literally just going to drawstring that closed. That's like as closed as it will get. There's still a little bit of a hole there, but we can fix that. Like this is like, honestly, this is already so adorable. Like imagine with it like, you know, full of fluff. This is the fluff that's going in here. And I'm just stuffing it. Ooh. Ooh. Stuff in the fluff. I was going for the kind that like looks beautiful, and it's definitely a little bit on the side of, it's kind of got left out on the porch too long and it's leaning to one side. In my personal experience, the pumpkins that you carve and stick out on the front porch only last like, you know, a week or so, and then they either get eaten by slugs or like precarious street youths come and smash them. Okay, so I'm just gonna do like a running stitch around the outside. And then when we just like, that's perfect. So from here, I have to decide what color of yarn or like what texture of yarn. That's kind of nice, the white. My original thought was using this stuff because I have a ton of it for the stuff that goes like around. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna use this. But what I wanna do is I wanna make it like a little bit thicker than just one string. So I'm gonna crochet like a long chain. I'm gonna chain like 6,000, just really quick. And I just made it long enough to wrap around the pumpkin like 6 times. Probably start from the bottom, right? Like that way the thingy is definitely hidden. So I'll just do this. Grab that other end, and then we're just gonna pull it through. Yes, yes. And then I think I'll just tie this. That way it kind of has an anchor, maybe. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we're just gonna do that a couple more times around the pumpkin. Making it cute. Originally thinking I would stick like a piece of wood in there. I want these to be able to kind of like toss them wherever and without poking anybody's eye out. So I think I'll just crochet like a little stem real quick. So I crocheted like this little stump and I filled it with polyfill, and now I'm just gonna glue it on top of the pumpkin, like right here. We're just going with this and it's gonna be fine. This is what it looks like. It's a little schlumpy. I'm gonna make a couple more and just kind of like see how it looks. This is the aftermath of cutting up all of that sweater, and I will just sticky roll it later. This is where we ended off, and I honestly was proud of this. Like I was proud of the little knobby stem part, and I was proud of how the pumpkin just looked and how it was like kind of like lazy and schlumpy. And then I made this one, which by all accounts is superior. And so then I made another and another and another. And well, I mean, I still have to glue the little, oh, that's a big one. I still have to glue the stems on top of them, but I think to save this one, I just need to cut this part off and replace it with like one of these rolls. And I just cut a rectangle of fabric and then rolled it up and then glued it a little bit so that it was a cylinder shape. And I think it needs more filling. I think that's one of the reasons why it's just so like flat and sad. You know, the fact that I made these out of stuff I already had in my stash is kind of awesome. I already had like the sweater, the fluffy stuff, the yarn. I'm pretty happy about it. I got a little nervous about cutting up the other sweaters because once I started looking at them, I just wanted to wear them throughout fall, and this is the one that I felt like I could sacrifice the most. I wasn't anticipating in making so many of them, but then like I also ended up using the sleeve section of the sweater, and that's where the 2 medium-sized pumpkins came from. And then these were just like the cast-offs. There was just enough to make a couple more. And honestly, I could make more if I wanted to. I probably will, but this is good for now. And I only have 1 couch to decorate, so it is officially pumpkin spiced up. If you like this content, I formally invite you to like and subscribe. New videos are on the way.